And we are back. Welcome to Bout That Life Podcast. We got a good part 2 for you. If you guys remember from one of the episodes way back when with Olajawon, Coach OJ.
During the pandemic?
Yeah, it was a pandemic. Yeah, that was when we had all that, man. It was years ago. Got my guy OJ, my friend, my annoying friend at times. He's back on this show. But no, this should be a good episode. We're going to get some good perspective from a tournament director and what he's doing right now. But again, if you're here, hit the follow, hit the like, do the HBO special, help a brother out. Helps me out with the algorithm. Really appreciate it. Stay tuned for that intro. We'll see you when you get back.
Hey, Bout That Life Podcast. If you're not a subscriber, you need to be. You have to be. You're learning about the game. You're helping your young athlete on and off the court. Check it out. Bout That Life Podcast.
From the YBA Phenix Fitness 24/7 basketball facility in Rocklin, California, it's Bout That Life Podcast with your host, Coach C.Collins and Coach MJ.
Hey, how you doing? This is Coach C.Collins, Bout That Life Podcast. I am here with you with another good episode where we talk life, basketball, and everything in between. Hopefully, it all helps you guys out there in your basketball and AAU journey. I have part 2, another guest from Blast from the Past. Got director and coach Olajuawan Jones, Mr. OJ. He's coming back to this episode. But before we get into the meat of all that, and pause, before we get into this episode, let me give a quick shout out to my sponsors. Dr. Dish, best shooting machine on the market. They got the Home, the All-Star, the Rebel. If they can handle all your shooting needs, I suggest go hit them up. Tell them About That Life Podcast sent you, and they will hook you up. And also, if you're looking for AAU tournaments, if you are looking for rec level all the way to competitive level basketball, look no further than Hardwood Palace in Rocklin, California. Hit up Grant or Steve. They will help you out. Also tell them About That Life Podcast sent you, and they will hook you up. But yeah, for all you basketball needs out there, for all your journeys, keep staying tuned, keep listening. For the guys who've been here, you're a real one. If you feel so inclined, hit that follow, maybe hit the Patreon, help support, because your support helps me able to keep doing this podcast and get you guys this free game. And just much appreciated. But without further ado, let me introduce Coach OJ. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm all right, brother. Good to see you back on the show.
Likewise.
Obviously,
He's on fire!
you've been doing good, man. You've been doing your thing.
I try to do my thing.
Let's get into it, man. You've obviously been doing a lot. You've made your own brand of tournaments. Please, you have the floor. You could talk about updates and everything you got going on, and share with the public and let them know what's up.
Well, I'm sure everyone knows Courtside closed down.
Mm-hmm.
It's been about a year and a half now.
Yep. And for those who don't know, because you might be listening or you're not here in Rocklin, California, Tesla owns the building now.
Right. Yeah. So seeing that drive over here, it kind of hurts a little bit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So a little about that situation. I don't want to go into too much detail, but about a year and a half ago, I got a phone call. Said we had a notice, 30-day notice to get out. So, at first I'm like, I didn't really know what to think. So a few weeks passed, we ended up finding a building. So I'm like, all right, cool. Everything's going to be fine though. A little, move. It wouldn't be too far. So,
Yep.
everything's in the work right now. You know, we're tearing down Courtside. You know, everything's just kind of a little chaotic and stuff, though. And then I would say about a month later, my former boss gives me a call and says, pretty much it's all bad because we couldn't get permits for the building.
Mm.
So for me, I was just like, I didn't know what to think. You know, emotions is pretty much everywhere and stuff, though. You know,
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, let's just still run tournaments, though. So, you know, still running tournaments and stuff like that, which is not bad. But there's no more Courtside. So without Courtside, you know, at the end of the day, it's like I didn't want to go that route, but it's time for me to spread my rings out a little bit, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's what I did. You know, a few other things happened between that, though. You know, I won't get into no personal things and stuff, though, but didn't work out.
Okay.
So, you know, I ended up starting my own brand called Triple Double now. So that's pretty much going good now and stuff, though. Still got all the same contacts, still all the same coaches and stuff, though, because in this type of business, though, what I've learned, though, it's about relationships.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so all my relationships still, you know, stood well and stuff, though. So I was able to still make those phone calls, get all the teams together, and pretty much still do what I do without missing a beat, though.
Right.
So that's what I've been doing, you know, a little more responsibilities, but it's pretty much the same work. Everything relies on me still, though. So it's been good. You know, the growth has been good and stuff, though. You know, you still have your issues here and there and stuff, but that's any business that
Right.
someone owns and stuff, though. So you got to take the good with the bad.
If somebody wanted to go the route of being a tournament director or hosting their tournaments kind of on a steady path like you are, you know what I mean? What advice would you give them?
Just like I said, the relationships. You know, like that's the thing now too. From when I first started to now, a lot more people are doing tournaments. Mm-hmm. You know, you have a lot of clubs doing tournaments, fundraising tournaments, et cetera, and stuff, though. So there is a lot of people doing tournaments now. So the best advice I always give people is just build your relationships with coaches.
Right.
You know, that's the biggest thing, because no matter how much you prepare for a tournament, it never goes the right way, you know, because you have all types of walks of life coming in, you know what I mean? Like, you have people with home issues. It could be whatever,
Yeah.
you know, and then they come to the gym and, you know, it could be issue with a referee or a parent, whatever it is, though, you know, like, and you just have to understand those situations and stuff, because not every week is the same. Every week is different no matter what. If you prepare for what happened last weekend, the next week is going to be a totally different situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I've learned that, though, you know, because every tournament has issues. But the biggest thing I've learned is, what are you going to do about those issues?
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of parents and coaches want to see is like, all right, we had an issue. They want to know what's going to be done about it, though. So I've kind of did a better job of, you know, dealing with situations and stuff and moving forward with that, though. So I think that's the biggest thing, though, like I said, is relationships, and then how you're going to deal with issues when they do come upon them.
Okay. And obviously, you know, you working kind of in the independent tournament circuit. Meaning, and in case anyone kind of just to decipher the language, what I mean by an independent tournament circuit, meaning he doesn't have a set location, right?
Yeah. More like local tournaments,
like local tournaments,
local
right?
tournaments,
Like, you know,
stuff, yeah.
your biggest competitor naturally is going to be Hardwood Palace,
Correct.
right? And you know, people can say what they want about Hardwood Palace, but it's a reliable product.
Oh yeah, like it's the same as Courtside.
Yeah.
You know, with Courtside, every week you know where Courtside was going to be at. Mm-hmm. So now that's the hard, challenging part, I would say, though, because with Courtside I was spoiled.
Right.
You know, that was my first pretty much tournament job.
Yeah.
And now is the difference is, though, like you said, though, like having to find locations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I do it, though, but at the same time, it is challenging and stuff,
yeah.
though, you know, like, so that is one of the issues and stuff, though, too.
Right.
So.
And I'm sure, you know, well, we kind of talked about this briefly. I mean, you have aspirations to maybe one day create your own facility, or maybe that might happen, which, you know, God willing, a couple things go the right way, right? It could happen. So, you know, you always keep that steady in the back of your mind, right?
Yeah, you always want to grow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And these days, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Right.
You know, so you always want to keep them doors open, though, and keep them relationships good because you never know. So that's what I always stay cordial, try to communicate with coaches and stuff, though. Hey, like, we did have an issue. All right, let's how can we move forward with that issue and stuff, though. And I think a lot of the times, though, too, what you see in AAU games and stuff, though, you do have issues, but if you don't have a good relationship with those coaches, they just don't come back to your tournaments.
Right.
Or they won't tell you that they had an issue. You might make a phone call, you don't get an answer.
You get an answer, right?
You don't get a text. You know what time it is, though.
Right.
You know, so that's the thing, though. You got to have that open line of communication, I feel like, and you got to take the criticism. You know, like me and you, we talk all the time about issues, you know, with tournament stuff, and not just with my tournament, just any tournament stuff, though, you know, because it's kind of the same patterns. You know, we all know what those patterns are and stuff, though, you know. Trying to deal with those every week, though, that's the main thing and stuff, though, you know, because like I said, my tournament, hardwood, wherever, you're always going to have an issue. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest thing, though. I always tell parents, coaches, whatever, it's just, what are you going to do about that when those issues do come upon themselves and stuff, though?
And it's how you adapt to it, right?
Yes.
Like, you know,
to.
and learn from it fast.
Yeah, you have to. Yes.
That's the name of the game.
Yeah, it is.
With, you know, with the tournament space that you're in, what are a couple things that you want people to take out of when they like attend your tournaments or you know, you hosting your tournaments, you know what I mean? Like, what are 2 or 3 things maybe you really like harp on? And, you know, like, for example, like, you know, starting on time, right? Like, you know, is that big to you? You know what I mean? Like, things like that. You know what I'm saying?
So my thing is, what I tell every coach, you know, when coaches sign up, hey, coach, what skill level are you? So I try to predicate on putting teams in the right skill level.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't care who wins the game. I can care less.
Right.
Like, I just want both sides to have a competitive game.
Good matchups.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't care if it's D1, D2, D3.
Right.
Long as both teams leave out the gym and say, man, we had a great time at that tournament.
Yeah.
So for me, that's what it's about and stuff, though. And sometimes it don't work that way.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I always tell you and stuff. And
you know, some people snowball or whatever.
Yeah. The hardest ones is a team you don't know. So say if you have a team and you sign up on my website or on the registration and stuff, and you put D3, right? So me not knowing you, I'm just gonna assume you're D3 or D2, whatever it is, and then I get to the tournament, I'm like, all right, let me just go watch that new team just to see, you know, and then talk to the coach and stuff. I get over there, the team's up by like 40 points, you know, and that's the hard part because then the other coach that I do know, he's like, what the hell?
Like, why you got us playing this damn team right over here, right? I mean?
So, and that's what I say, though, sometimes, like, that's what's hard, though, you know, because you want everything to go smooth, but it don't work that way and stuff. Oh, it don't. But that's what it goes back to having that open line of communication with that coach. Hey, coach, this team signed up online. I'm just putting what they put on their registration, you know, like, because me, like, it's like anyone that goes to a store, like, I don't want someone to come to my tournament and then I don't see them come back.
Right.
Like, that's bad business, though. Like, anywhere you go, like, anyone that owns a business or whatever, like, the goal is to have them come back.
Yes.
You know,
you want to retain the customer.
Right. I don't want to just take your money and then I don't see you come back.
Right.
Because honestly, at the end of the day, though, like if you're successful, everything else is going to fall in line after that. You know, so that's always what I preach and stuff, though. You know, I'm not worried about all the other stuff because it'll fall in line. No. You know, so that's one of the main things.
That you hope. So, you know, what do you overall think? Because, you know, I ask this question to all my guests every single time. What, you know, looking at AAU now, again, you have the lens of a director, but you know, you've coached, obviously coached your son, and they had a really good youth team and whatnot. You know, but you from the outside looking in now, you know, what is AAU? You know, maybe some pros and cons, or you know, what are you seeing when you look at AAU today?
Oh, that's a good question. from when I first started to now, a lot's changed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, it's the integrity.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm really big on development. And I feel like with AAU today, the development part has got lost, though, from a lot of coaches, though. A lot of coaches cut corners. You know, they want to win, but they're doing it at any cost.
Yeah.
You know, and then what happens is it dominoes your tournament. So me as a director too, sometimes you got to find out what teams too are just sandbagging your tournaments though, and it's nothing personal, it's just business though. You don't want them teams in your tournament though, because then other programs here, okay, this team is playing there all the time, we're just not going to go to those tournaments and stuff though. So now it just starts affecting your business and stuff though, and that's what I just said though. You have to find that common ground though of who you allow in your tournaments too at the same time, you know, because I always say all money ain't good money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I always preach that and stuff though. I rather, if I got to cut a division out because it's a team I just don't want to play, I will do that now and stuff though, just to avoid those conflicts and stuff like that, because one bad apple, you know how that is.
Right.
It can trickle down.
You go, hey, here's your refund.
Yeah, pretty much so. Yeah, that's what because when I first started, you know, you remember when I started, though, it was during the pandemic. So no one else was running basketball tournaments, and Courtside is the only place.
You were flooded with teams.
It was flooded. But me learning from that situation and stuff, though, like, it was so, like, everything was moving so fast.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I can barely get a break. Like, when Monday came, like, there was already, like, 75, 80 teams signed up. And it was like that every weekend, though, for, like, 6-7 months straight.
Yep.
So it didn't really give me a lot of time to develop relationships with some coaches because, like I said, it's just me by myself. You know, like, I didn't really have the staff like that at the time and stuff, though. So, like I said, everything was just coming so fast, though. So that's one thing I do regret a little bit, because I didn't really do, I can say this now, I didn't do a good job of, you know, like sometimes, like the games were super competitive though. But what that allowed though is now you have the bickering and the parents arguing and stuff. The games are closed though, and you know what I mean? So it creates this atmosphere where it's just super hostile.
Yeah.
You know
Fights
what I mean?
about to break out. If not, they do break out.
Right, exactly though. So it's one of them things where you play Russian roulette. It could be all good, but then all of a sudden a fight breaks out. So like I said, everything's just going so fast, and then, you know, people, like, you don't notice when it's happening at the same time, but like some coaches were upset about certain situations. But again, like I said, I was moving so fast that I didn't have time to like really reflect, okay, this was what was going on. I need to give this coach a call. Let me try to hash this out. I didn't do that with some phone calls and stuff, or some relationships.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I had to learn and stuff, though. You know, like I said, everything was it was super fast paced. You know, so
well, like you said, the biggest knock you got is winning's becoming more important in development.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. I think that's the biggest thing now, because like my son's group.
Yeah.
I had them, you know, they're all 8, 9, 10, 7, 8, 9, 10 at the time and stuff though, but I had them from rec league, so I actually developed damn near all those kids and stuff though.
Yeah.
And they didn't really play AAU for the first couple of years and stuff because they were playing rec league.
Right.
So I was just pretty much just, you know, like feeding them into AAU and stuff though. And all of a sudden we get into AAU, we just beating the hell out of everybody and stuff though, because like I said, I developed these kids and stuff though, and now the problem I see, which drives me crazy with AAU, is you have kids playing on so many different teams.
I know, right?
You know, I have kids that play in my tournaments, and I'll go talk to them and stuff. Hey, how are you doing? And stuff. Oh man, coach, this is my 6th, 7th game today. This weekend. I'm like, why are you playing?
And they're 3rd and 14
in a weekend and stuff though, and it's just like these kids don't have the proper tools. They're not icing after the game. We're not doing.
Well, they're not learning systems. They're not. They're, you know, they're not. They're at some point they're just playing basketball.
Yeah.
With referees out there, as opposed to developing through basketball.
And a lot of these kids don't understand that process and stuff because they just want to play ball.
Yeah.
They don't look at the other side of it though. And that's why I look at the coaches like, y'all gotta actually mentor these kids though too, because their body needs time to recover.
But the coaches got to have standards, and unfortunately, there are a lot of coaches that don't have standards. I shouldn't say a lot, but there's
no.
I would say
there's a lot.
Yeah,
there's a lot of coaches.
I mean, you got to have, like, for instance, I have kids that have come up to me, hey, coach, can I play? I'm like, no, and they're like, why? You didn't come to my practice.
Yeah, that's how
you have to practice before
that's
you play.
How it should be. But a lot of coaches don't do that.
Yeah,
and then what happens? It trickles down to your whole program.
Yeah.
Now you got kids showing up when they want to show up. They'll practice when they want to practice. And then when that Saturday comes, you didn't start this kid. Your other kids have been to practice the whole week. How you think he don't feel about the situation?
Well, the parents are the ones that get pissed.
Yeah. Well, high school, that's your little avenue.
Yeah.
It's a little different, because
high school,
they're older,
Yeah.
So like a lot of those choices are made by them a little more and stuff though. So
But the youth side of it,
yeah,
you know what I mean. Like you'll have a random 6th grader who hasn't been at practice the whole time, but he's a stud, and then all of a sudden he hops on the team with the kids that have been there at practice all week, and parents get irritated with that.
But I feel like those are the ones that actually need it more sometimes though.
Man,
you know what I mean?
Could be
because all they hear all day is how good they are.
Yeah.
There's no what you need to work on, what criticisms, what I need to actually critique your game at though.
Yeah, but
so a lot of coaches, like, you're not there to be their friend. You're there to be their coach and stuff though. And I feel like a lot of coaches I see are
blurring the lines.
Are trying to be more of the friend type with the players and stuff though, and that's not going to sit well for a while. Like, they're not going to respect you.
Well, I'm big. I say this to my kids. I say I ain't your friend, but I'm friendly.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm friendly, but I ain't your motherfucking friend. Like, I'm your coach. Yeah. I'm a mentor. Obviously the kids joke around. They call me Unc, whatever. But it's like they understand the hierarchy of who I am in comparison to them.
Because I've seen it the other way. I've seen coaches be buddy, just, play fighting with the kids. And over a course of time, I feel like the level of respect for that player and coach is not there and stuff though, because he thinks you're his friend. Right. So now he can get away. He feels he can get away with
and act a fool.
With a few more things and stuff, and it's like that's not the right way to mentor these young men and stuff, and ladies though too at the same time.
Right.
So I just feel like I said, the development part of this whole AAU is just. It's lost right now and stuff though, and there are good coaches out there that are doing it the right way, so another part of it is the social media part. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's really big, because the first thing coaches do when they win, what you think they do?
Oh, they're gonna post a photo. They're gonna, and I'm guilty of that. I post it on my story, but I always say, like, good job, YBA Elite 7th grade. Is that, honestly, that's more for my kids and the marketing side of it. But it's but we've had enough conversation. That's not what's most important to me. Right. You know what I mean?
But like I said, you have those coaches that do this, and it's one of those things, like, it's a marketing thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're using that to get more kids, to recruit more kids into your program and stuff though. But what I'm saying is, don't make it all about winning. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, make it about developing the kids, though, because if you develop the kids, the winning will come. And that's what happened with my kids, though. Though, there was times where they're winning so much, I'm like, I got to play them up on purpose and stuff, though, because I don't want y'all just winning every weekend, though, because I need some humble pie right here. Yep. So there was a few times I played them up on purpose, and we got our ass whooped, though. But I did it on purpose and stuff, though, so they could see, though, there's levels to this, though. Y'all got to keep working. Just because we winning all the time, that don't mean you stop working. Yeah. And that's not just in basketball, that's in life. And that's what I try to teach these kids and stuff, though. Like, not all these kids are going to college. We know.
Of course not. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course
all these kids.
I mean, you will love in a perfect world they all make it.
For them to go to college, but in this world, they're not all going to college. So at the same time, there's got to be some life lessons in there too. And I feel like that's what's lost right now, especially with the AAU side and stuff of basketball.
Well, and I mean, at least you're in a position, like I said, with you being a director, you can kind of maneuver and be strategic with some of this. Yeah. Like, obviously you're gonna. I think back to last tournament I did with the I gotta mention this story. So when we played backcourt. Backcourt.
Right.
So O had to deal with a
Dare you?
a Karen. He had to deal with a Karen.
Oh my
And and so we were playing backcourt, and that team was playing up, and for those who might be keeping up with me, but even if you don't and you're new here, this is your first episode. I have they're now 8th grade. But they're a really good 8th grade group. I got a kid named Kian. This kid is very, very likely going to be a Division I basketball player with his upside. He's 6'5" right now, and he's a true age 13-year-old. He's not a holdback or a reclass. He's a true 13-year-old who's 6'5".
Yeah.
He's probably going to walk in as a 6'7" freshman, right? And we were playing the Backcourt Madness team. They were playing up. They were still 7th grade at the time, because it starts, just for those who might not know this, for AAU, it's August 31st or September 1st or whatever. When they officially start their new grade. So even if the kids have already started school, they don't officially make that next flip until that time.
Has it always been like that way?
I think so. I think it's always been that way. It was either I think it's always been August or September, September 1st cutoff. But so we're playing in our bracket. Backcourt is playing up, and the Karen that came over and got mad was sitting there, got mad, and was saying to him like, you guys are this team's got kids who can dunk and all. It's like,
this is a bad tournament. Like, why did we sign up for this?
And then the shows.
Anyone that knows me though, like I'm like one of the most calmest people and stuff though. So I'm just at the front. And this is not the first time I've had an issue with this lady. It's actually the second time.
Oh man.
So she comes up to me and stuff though, and she tells me all that stuff though. So I'm like, man, just calm down for a second. I got all these people right there and stuff though. So I'm just trying to calm her down and stuff though.
And the game's going on while all this stuff.
Yeah. So
and yes, we're smacking the hell out of
her.
her.
She tells me that, and I just told her, I said, ma'am, that your director signed you guys up to play up, and I told him, this is not the weekend you want to play up because it's more of a high level tournament. Kids are playing for rings. Yeah. And we all know kids are not going to play their current, the grade because they're playing for rings. Yeah. So everyone chose. I mean, you can either play your current grade, or don't move up yet because that's part of the rules. Yeah. So I showed her the message and stuff, and she's just like going at it. And then my lady comes over, and she's talking to her. And she has a better conversation with her. Than
that's good. At least she has a buffer.
Right. So I was just basically trying to explain to the lady and stuff though, like, I did not pitch you guys in this division. The director did. Yeah. I asked him plenty of times.
You recommended it.
I even showed her the text message and stuff, though. That's how it got.
This is you don't want to smoke this weekend.
Yeah, because I said it, and then the director was like, no, they want to play up. I said, all right. I asked him plenty of times. I'm not going to keep telling somebody don't play up. Right. And they chose to play up.
And credit to them, even if y'all get this message or hear this episode, like you guys still coached your butt off. You kept pushing them kids.
Long
you didn't.
Short, she came and apologized. Yeah. And stuff, though, because like I said, it goes back to what I said though. Like, I don't want to just take your money and put you in a tournament and then I don't see you guys come back. Like that's bad business. Right. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to put you guys in that situation. It was just like I said, it was unfortunate that they chose to play up that weekend. Yeah. And I feel like they would have did a way better job playing in the 12.
Yeah, no doubt.
Though, because they're actually a good team.
Yeah.
They're a D1 team.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like I said, they just chose to play up that weekend.
And that team in particular, I got a lot of size. I mean, I got LD, Cam, Josiah, just our physical size, the strength, the speed. That team is just, but that's a team I've been, I've had them since 4th, 5th grade. You saw them at Courtside.
But those, like I said, those are incidents. You know what I mean? Like you're not coming in thinking of, all right, this guy is gonna just end up cussing me out right in front of everybody. But like I said, I stay professional with her and stuff though, and I let her know what it was and stuff though, and it's no hard feelings, right? You know what I mean? Like that's part of this job and stuff though. You gotta take the criticism, and like I told you though, like I don't want you to come and then don't come back.
Right.
That's not me. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to just take your money and stuff. Though I'd rather you just not play my tournaments and stuff if I don't have your division.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how it is and stuff.
And you know, is well, this is kind of, I guess, a two-part question. You know, are you being more mindful of trying to monitor officiating, trying to get good officials, trying to get solid officials? Is that something like?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
So all the officials I try to get now are high school certified referees and stuff. Though,
Good.
Because you might not think that's an issue, but it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to have good officials out there with, I should say, with thick skin.
Yes.
Because you will have a mom yelling at you down the sideline that doesn't know a damn lick of basketball.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And she just say, "That my baby got fouled.
Right.
My baby's fouled." Like
and
your
you
baby.
have those referees
right?
that hear everything sometimes and then will just key in on that one parent and stuff though, instead of looking at the bigger picture and stuff though. So
Right.
yeah, you got to have good referees out there. Like,
Yeah.
that's part of it and stuff though. You know?
And you know, and of course, you know, you're gonna get some young referees too who are learning and trying to make their way. But that's what I always recommend. Hey, I say it on the show. If you want to make some money,
They're gonna make mistakes too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've seen it plenty of times. Even good officials and stuff though. But the good ones know how to kind of control the game.
But but very seldomly does one call really dictate an entire youth game. Yeah. Can it happen? Absolutely.
The worst games that I have issues with are the younger kids and the girls. I don't know why that's been the issue lately. Like the younger kids.
Hey, girls get extra. They do extra. They'll try to hurt each other.
The
out
little
there.
ones, oh my God, those games are a little hard because every parent think their kid is going to the NBA at 8 years old, or if their kid get pushed a little.
And that's what I say is hard too. That's why I try to tell on previous episodes of the show. I say you guys got to understand, officials are gonna adjust the calls to the players.
Yes.
They're officiating. So, like if you called every single travel, every single level of contact in an 8U game, that game would be 3 hours.
Exactly though. So like I'm not gonna call a little, like, now if the kid's dribbling and he gets bumped and it doesn't knock him off, I'm gonna let that go.
Yeah.
But if he gets hit and dislodged a little bit though, then
okay,
you gotta call it.
And even still, you gotta kind of measure, like, is it really, like, you know, is the kid, is he selling it? Is he physical?
Parent, my baby is getting hit.
Yeah, it's
and
like
he's barely getting touched.
And you tell him, you know, I tell parents, you know, there's a contact sport, right? Yeah, like you're going to get contact.
Yeah. Some parents don't think that, you know.
Nah.
So, like I said, them games it's a lot. You know, because the referees, like a lot of the referees don't want to do them little kid games.
Yeah, no, I know. Sean was telling me that the other day. Sean was like, bro, these little kid games is the roughest ones.
They're the roughest ones because if you, like you said, if you stop that and blow that whistle every time, there's going to be no flow to the game.
None.
You know what I mean? Now we're just, and then parents want it both ways.
Yep.
Oh, you calling everything. Oh, you ain't calling nothing. It's like you can't have it both ways and stuff.
You can't win for losing.
Yeah, so you got, with those games, you just got to pick and choose what you want to call. And it's more of a development game. Like you're actually trying to teach the kids, stop them a little bit. Hey, I'm seeing you do this, though. I'm trying to correct that as we go and stuff, though, with those games and stuff, though.
And then what do you think of how are you handling, you know, because this is still, unfortunately, the nature of the beast. You know, parents fighting, kids fighting, ratchet ass, you know, situations, you know, coaches wanting to fight, just the whole dumbass violent factor of these tournaments sometimes. How have you been maneuvering that in your best way? You've been trying to, at least, to manage it.
Well, it goes back to what I said. It's a perception thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you there and you see something happen, you want to know, is there going to be consequences for this actions and stuff, though?
Yeah.
So, like I said, the thing you want to do is you want to make sure you're doing something about those situations.
Right.
And I try to give everybody a chance to come to my tournaments, but if I see something, then I just won't call you back.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what I had to learn. You know, like I told you, though, like, because at Courtside, everything was moving so fast. Like I said, I was taking every team in. And now I don't have to do that, though. You know what I mean? I can pick and choose who I want to play because you ain't about to mess up my tournament.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and that's what I kind of predicate on, just running good tournaments. Like I said, I don't care about the skill level. I don't care about that. Like, just get you in the right division.
I mean,
or one of the other things too is what I've learned. If you don't have that division, tell the coach and let them make that decision.
Yeah.
That way, like I said, everything is clear stone. They know what they're getting into when they get to the gym. You don't want that coach getting to the gym and they're like, this is not what we signed up for. Because it's one of them things, like I said, they will not come back.
Yeah.
I've had coaches 2-3 years not come back because of, situations that didn't get handled right.
Do you have some kind of, some personal goals you want to see with your tournaments and things like that? I mean, do you want to do like, have like a big tournament with teams all over the nation come in one day, or like, do you have a big master plan or something, like a dream of yours as far as where you want to take this?
I would say I just want to be successful in what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I feel like if you do it the right way, it'll grow organically and stuff. But if you sit up there and look for, I want to do this and that, you gonna try to you're gonna overwhelm yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like I said, I just try to just stay in my lane and let it grow naturally and stuff though. And then like I said, I feel like those opportunities and doors will open and stuff though if I do it the right way. Okay.
And then my last question with and with all the tournaments and stuff before we move on to a couple other things. You already gave like basically your advice on how to run a tournament, but the biggest, one of the takes, or I guess, one of the hot takes dealing with right now is the price of tournaments, the price of admission. You hear that being, and part of it's just the matter. It's inflation. I mean, everything's fucking higher. Groceries are higher. Everything is higher.
Everything is going up though. Like,
so it's like, how are you maneuvering that, trying to balance that? I'm sure people are still like, man, $20 for entry, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, what are some things you might want to speak on with that, or at least try to convey to the people out there so they kind of understand?
That's a good question. I try not to keep the tournaments too high. You know what I mean? If it's teams that's played in my tournaments a lot, I try to give them a better deal and stuff though. But the thing is too though, gym rental fees used to be a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
I remember at Courtside, we used to rent out the gym for about like $55-$60 an hour.
Oh man, you can't even find that no more. You can't find it.
Now the gym rentals is like $75-$85 an hour. So you don't want to go up on the prices sometimes, but it's like anybody that has a business, you have to make money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like you try to.
You have a price point in the capital you trying to hit.
You try to find gyms and locations where the fees are not too high. You know what I mean? They're like, so yeah, I try not to go too high. I remember we're at Omni when we were up there for a little bit, and the door fees were just $20, and I was getting hammered for it though. And never again, I can't do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the fees were high because the gym fees were high.
What's crazy is because, like, they made these memes during the high school side. New Balance was charging, I think, $70 or $75, maybe $60, somewhere in between there, for their. I wasn't sure if that was their day fee or their weekend fee or whatever. Yeah, $75 for their live period fee. And keep in mind, it's only really like 4 games, 2 games one day, 2 games the other. And someone left a comment. It's just stuck with me because it was so funny. He said, "How you gonna charge more for the door fee for your tournament than your fucking shoes cost?"
Yeah,
because they were saying New Balance shoes ain't worth no $75.
Multi-million-dollar company.
Shoe Circuit live period tournament $75.
Yeah, it makes it harder for directors and companies like me, like small businesses and stuff though, because $70, that's a lot. Yeah. That's a lot. And I would say that the entry fee for the team is probably like $500-$600 too on top of that. Though.
Shit, yeah. At least.
Yeah. So, it's hard.
It is, man.
Because, I mean, if you have kids with you,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
And then like especially if you go to these big travel tournaments and the cost of travel, the hotel, the everything, you know, it's just
it adds up.
It's a tough time, man. Yeah. It just is. But let me get into hot takes. Oops. There we go. There we go. That's the right button. Okay, hot takes. Yeah. So, you know, one of the biggest hot takes right now, and obviously I think you'll have a good perspective on this, is because, you know, you've coached your son or trained your son. He was a part of your youth team. But one of the biggest things talking about right now is nepotism, right? A lot of, you know, like Bronny James is a good example, right? He's in the league because his dad's in the league. You know, you got a lot of the top high school kids in the country are all sons of NBA players, right? So they obviously have access to resources and things like that. I did a reel with Marcellus Howard. He spoke on that. He said, you know, like, if that's my son, yeah, and I have the resources, I'm going to give him access to everything he needs. Doesn't mean the kids still aren't working. Yeah. You know, they're putting in the work, but you know, they're doing it for you. I'm just saying, do you have any thoughts about that? Obviously, being a dad and like Deion, you know, obviously. Yeah. Deion's a good example. You know, Deion Taylor, for you guys who might not know who we're talking about, like the movie director, his son is really into hoop, and Deion used to play hoop, and, you know, but being a dad, coaching your son, like trying to give every resource to your son for them to succeed. Do you have anything to speak on with that?
Yeah, I mean, that's been going on forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
For a long time.
No doubt.
Stuff, though, you know what I mean? But
it's just happening in basketball, and people are trying to fixate on it now, right?
Well, let's just say the reason why is because of LeBron.
Yeah.
That's the reason why.
Yeah.
You know, because LeBron is this mega super athlete and stuff, though, and with the powers and resources and stuff, though, he was able to put his son in a situation that a lot of people can't say they can do. You know, and it rubs some people the wrong way. And some people, like I said, agree with it, though.
Yeah.
But any parent or whatever, like, your job is to put your kid in a situation to be more successful than you.
Yep.
Whether that happens or if it doesn't, though, like, you want to at least give them that opportunity. And I feel like it happens a lot in businesses. You know what I mean? It just doesn't get spotlighted a lot, like the whole LeBron situation stuff, though. And we know this from growing up, though. Especially black fathers and stuff, they always got a bad rap. Yeah. Oh, they're not there. Now you see a lot of these black fathers, athletes in their kids' life, and give them opportunities and stuff. And I feel like, what are we talking? Like, what is the big deal about that? And stuff, though, you know, like, they're doing stuff their fathers didn't do for them and stuff, though.
I mean, shit, like, if you can circle damn near in any sport, like the Elways. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, but look at LeBron. Like, LeBron's like he grew up without his father. Yeah. So for him, like, a lot of people gotta understand. Same with me and stuff, though. Like, my dad was there, but up until a certain age, he's doing everything his dad didn't get a chance to do for him. Yep. You know what I mean? That's all it is. You know, and a lot of people like LeBron. A lot of people don't like LeBron and stuff, though. And I feel like I said, nepotism has always been around. Yeah. But you barely start hearing that word when Bronny James came into the...
Well, the biggest argument, if I'm playing devil's advocate for the parents out there and everything, they're saying it's not fair. It's not fair. You know, it's not fair. Exactly.
Yeah, life ain't fair.
Sports ain't fair.
Yeah. Like I said, we don't... I hate the participation awards. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, put the work in. And I'm not saying that, like I said, every situation is different. I'm not saying Bronny James don't put the work in and stuff, though. And I get that part, though, too, how parents feel and stuff, though. But don't be mad because LeBron was able to put his son in a situation that a lot of people can't do that.
I mean, this shit ain't built equal. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like, y'all, you know, the quicker you understand that and willing to, like, step up and put in the work, you know what I mean, the better off you'll be. But, this shit ain't built equal.
And then it goes back to social media. Everybody has their... Our opinion about some, and then it gets blown out of proportion. Right. You got a lot of people that just love to do petty stuff on the internet, though, like, and just write the dumbest shit that don't even make sense. And then you got somebody else that's commenting mad about it, though, trying to say something about this person that just don't even have a profile picture.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
So it's like you're gonna fight a battle that you're not gonna win.
Nah, and
You know, so
like, man, just like we said, just put in the work.
yeah,
Just put in work. Let the chips fall where they may.
yeah.
You know, well, I want to talk about, you know, there's another hot take, but in terms of like, this was a take I talked about. They said, basketball is no longer a Trent baby sport. Like, it's not the kids from the trenches that are always like thriving. You know what I mean? If anything, it's kind of semi becoming a middle class elitist sport. You know what I mean? Because again, the kids that are typically playing the best are kids that have resources to courts, shooting machines, like we talked about, you know, the other day. Your son having Courtside right there, you know, that clearly like
right
gave him a step ahead. Do you see it's kind of going away from you know, the story of the kid from the projects, you know, making it? Do you see like in a big degree that that's not happening anymore? I don't say. I do think I see both sides.
Yeah.
I will say, you know, the kids that have access, yeah, it's a little easier, right? But I still see the kids, the natural athletes that come from the poverty or whatever, they're still making it too.
Yeah, I see both sides like you do too, and it's one of those things where you just have to pitch yourself around people that's gonna put you in a position to be successful.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. A lot of kids, inner city kids, understand that though too. But if you a coach or a mentor and you see a kid that has potential though, like I feel like you should put the extra work in with that kid if that's what he wants though too. You know what I mean? And like you said though, like a lot of kids that are not in the projects though are getting way more resources and stuff though. And it's like where you got to find that even balance.
and
You know?
well, and it comes down to, you know, because what I will say between what our episode at Courtside and now is there's so many more AAU teams.
Yeah.
So many more, right? So I tell parents, you do have to use discernment. You have to use critical thinking skills. You have to see, okay, what does this program offer? Again, with YBA, you know, we try to be the Walmart of AAU. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we want.
Yeah, because the issue you have like a dad might get pissed off, and 2 weeks later he's starting his own.
He's starting his own team.
Yeah, team and stuff.
Yeah.
You know? So that's the issue. I see a lot going on now, and they don't know. It's one of the things where I go back to just now you're cutting corners. You know what I mean? You're all pissed off for your feelings. There's no communication with the coach, and you just start your own program. And then you take all the kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it happens all the time.
I had one thing that I also thought was a really cool topic. Coach Barnes from Bakersfield brought this up. He did a video of it. It was kids and parents aren't patient anymore. They're not willing to wait their turn.
Yeah,
right.
It goes the social media era though too.
Everybody has to start. Everybody has to get 30 shots up. Everybody has to be the man. It's like, no, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
Every team has one or two. We've really gotten away from a culture of being proud of the person next to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't know how to get back to that other than having these dialogues, talking about it on this show, calling it what it is, calling it out, and challenging coaches to go back to that formula of teach your culture and your program that, listen, it might be your turn to score 20. It might be your time to score 20. It might be your time to score 20. And when whoever's that time that is, we're all going to support and cheer that kid on.
Yeah. See, that's a hard topic, though, too, because not every coach can be on the same page.
Yeah.
You know, some coaches' philosophies or goals going to be different than yours.
Right.
You know, yours is more of the long game.
Yeah, always.
You know, some coaches' short-term goals.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? How can I do what I can do or put my program on the map? Because I'm just getting started because I got to get more kids and build my program out. So it's one of the things, like I tell you, I always tell parents, because they ask me sometimes about programs, You go find out how that program is, and then you can decide if you like it or not, though. Because I don't never talk bad about a coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I always tell parents, you need to find a program that fits your child.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you have some parents that their kids been in 4 or 5 different programs. Like, the grass ain't always green on the other side.
Right.
You know, they want their kids to score 25 points a game, but that ain't translating to nothing, though.
Right.
You know, you're losing every weekend. Now your kid is developing a losing habit of losing all the time, but he's scoring his 20 points a game.
Yeah.
You know, so is that what you
And you're just teaching them as long as you get yours, that's all that matters, right?
That's selfish.
Yeah.
You know, and any coach, a good coach, I don't want no selfish kid on my team, like, that's taking every single shot, or he worried about when the game over going to check the scorebook, how many points he had this game, because his mom and dad worried about if he scored 20 points a game.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to find a coach that's going to fit your needs. You know, that's the biggest thing I tell all these parents and stuff, though. Like, and it might be a few coaches or programs that you go through to find out what's developing your kid the right way and stuff, though, you know. And so, like, yeah, that's why I always tell parents and stuff, though, find a program that fits your child, not you.
Right.
You know, so.
And I love this segment where Jamal Crawford, he was on a podcast talking about you know, saying it's not so much even the kid might have issue with the other kid. It's because of what the parent is saying in the car ride home or the car ride there. Like, you know, man, if that kid, you know, passed you the ball more, you would get more shots. You know what I mean?
I will tell you this, though. Parents mess it up before the kids do. It's been like that. It's always the parents, because parents are trying to live through their kids' dreams, which we all are and stuff, though, at times and stuff, though. But
yeah, we want to see our kids do better than what we did, no doubt.
Absolutely and stuff, though. But again, though, like, it's one of those things where you gotta try not to cross that line, you know, because then your kid he's getting persuaded and pushed 2 different ways. Like, for a coach, it's hard because I got him for 2-3 hours a day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I can tell him everything I can until he's black and blue in the face, but he got to go home to mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
Or he got to go home to dad in the car yelling at him and stuff, though, telling him something completely different when I didn't tell him.
Yeah. Don't pass him the ball. Shoot that motherfucker.
Right. So when I get back to the gym, everything I didn't told him the next day or whatever, couple days, he doing everything the opposite because his dad is telling him to score or shoot the damn ball every single time.
Right.
You know, and as a coach, you want to deal with that?
No.
Because I don't.
No.
You know, like, that's another thing, though, too. Like, you got to have some type of structure in your program.
Like, and that's the biggest thing I try to implement with my teams and my culture is, you know, not me, you know, be happy in someone else's success, like, enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Right. That's all the
Like,
cliche
it's a
shit,
culture
but
thing. You don't want a team, like, what I hate seeing sometimes is if a team is cheering and you got 1 or 2 kids just soaking on the bench.
yeah.
Because they ain't playing or whatever reason and stuff. So it's just, that's not the culture you want, though.
Or I love the text after the game. Hey, coach, can I talk to you?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Those
fuck.
those are the worst ones and stuff, though, because we just had a great game, though, and stuff, though. Chemistry is there.
You won the championship, and they still want to talk to you.
I say it's like a test in school. You know, you got a test, right? And you get 98 out of 100.
Yeah.
That's a good score, right? But there's 2 problems, which is 2 parents that you got to deal with, though.
Exactly.
So, and it's like, we just had a great weekend, you know, but you got to deal with it sometimes. So, you know, and that's the worst. Like, the text you see, hey, coach, can I talk to you?
Right.
Like,
do you think, again, you've been observing enough and watching teams enough and things like that. You know, the other biggest thing is coaches talk a lot about kids' mental fortitude is not as strong as it once was. You know, the skill level way up, but the mental side of it a little weaker. You know, and there's a multitude of combinations of reasons why that could be, but is that something you see?
Absolutely. That's a good question. Yeah, I see it all the time now.
Yeah.
You know, like I was just talking to a parent the last tournament about that. You These kids are way more skilled than we were.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super,
1,000%.
Yeah, way more
1,000%.
skilled. The thing is, the IQ is not there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think they lack IQ and stuff, though. And a lot of these kids are more sensitive.
Yep.
You know, so that's why I have talks with my referees and stuff, though, because some of them like to let a little chippiness go on. And when you do that, though, like, these kids get hit a little bit the wrong way, and next thing you know, you got punches being thrown out there.
Because they really don't, they can't handle their...
Yes, they're a lot more sensitive now and stuff, though. That's, you know, when we grew up, though, like, we weren't, you know.
We're going to play physical, but it ain't on no fighting shit. Like, we trying to keep it basketball. We ain't on that.
Yeah, so, you know, I've seen that happen a few times, and I kind of watch the game, and I'm like, all right, I kind of see where this is going. Let me go talk to the referees and start teeing these kids up. You know, because, I mean, you see it in the pro game and stuff, though. You remember with the whole brawl with the Malice at the Palace?
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, now you see sometimes in NBA games, they're like, it could be another player that don't, like, he engaged, but he don't really engage that much, but he's getting a technical foul, too.
Yep.
Well, the reason why they're doing that, though, because they're trying to offset so those two players.
So it doesn't even escalate a little bit.
Exactly, and stuff, though, because you're putting out a product out there and stuff, though. You don't want that product to be tarnished and stuff, though. So it goes back to what I'm saying, though. Like, that product, you want to keep that product good out there and stuff, though. You know?
Right. You know, the biggest thing, too, with, you know, well, if you want to say, with our AAU culture right now, our AAU community, our basketball community, it's thriving in terms of the sheer size and how much people love basketball. I mean, the Olympics showed that, right? Basketball's, you know, on the doing really well on the forefront, but culturally, we got some things to fix. Yeah, 100%. And Sacramento, in particular, and you've been out here long enough, you know, this is your home, right? You see kind of a lot of the same things I see, I think. And you know, we talk about this a lot. We've talked about it before in a previous show, the loyalty aspect, keeping a core group together, sticking together, how hard that is, how it's always sometimes feel like a house of cards and it can fall apart in any moment, dealing with AAU, directors poaching kids, just all of it, man. Like, you know, can we ever get to a point where Sacramento works together to, you know, get the 10 best high school juniors, seniors, whatever, and go out there and kill it? Like, do you think that's even possible in the state of where we're at today, or it's just probably kind of a far-fetched dream? I know it's a dream of mine, but it's, you know.
I would say right now, no.
Yeah.
You know, because there's too many egos. I mean, I think me and you were talking about this a couple days ago.
Yeah.
You know, and I deal with that with my younger team. You know, we had one of the top younger teams on the West Coast, but we had a lot of egos.
Yeah.
So now we have, you know, a divided team. You know, and I feel like that's what it is now. A lot of egos and stuff, though. You know, everyone wants to be in charge. You know, and the sad thing about Sacramento is, though, it's so much talent out here and stuff, though.
Yeah.
And a lot of these kids, though, and you can't blame them, too, at the same time, is they leave and go play for the Jalen Greens and the Oakland Soldiers and stuff, though.
Yeah.
And sometimes that don't even pan out for them, but they just want the opportunity. You know what I mean? There's been plenty of kids that's left, and I don't think they've been successful as they could have been staying in Sacramento.
Right.
But I feel like they just wanted that opportunity, though. You know what I mean? And that's what it is and stuff, though. And it's not out here and stuff, though. You know?
And that's what I
wish it was.
Me too.
You know, like, you know, because there's a lot of great coaches out here, and then there's a lot of great kids. But it's like, if you got one coach that got 3 or 4 of these top kids, is he willing to go give his kids to
somebody else with his 3 or 4 kids that put a different
and then
banner in front?
Coaches that don't have no kids, how they gonna feel about it because now they kids left and went somewhere else. So
and that's the tough side of it, attaching themselves to these kids. You know, like you want them to succeed, but you can't attach yourself to the degree that it's like, we made it. It's like, no, the kid made it, and you helped in the journey.
Yeah, and another thing I was just thinking about the other day too is in Sacramento, there's no really shoe circuit teams out here.
No.
There's really not.
And that's what I'm trying to create. That's what I
shoe
said.
Circuit teams. There's maybe Play Hard, Play Smart.
Yeah, they're the only like New Balance,
right.
you know, top shit. But New Balance is so new, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying like the Play Hard, Play Smart. They've been doing it for a while.
Everything else is gold or Rise.
Has,
JBS is the only full sponsored.
But there's not too many out here.
Yeah, fully sponsored. Outside of PHPS, no, there's nothing. And even me, I'm on the Adidas Gold, and I have to pay. I'm not. Right. They're not. Adidas isn't saying, hey, here's a check.
Quite a few programs on the Gold, but you got to pay for those though.
Yeah, and it's the same tournament. It's the same cost. To be fair, it's the same cost that an independent tournament was. It's not this inflated cost.
Yeah, but that cost it can get
it's high. It's still expensive, and so that's, and even that, parents, high school parents, really seem to have an issue with wanting to pay. For tournaments.
I've heard about that.
And it's so fucking crazy to me. I'm like, who do you think's gonna pay for your child if not you?
But that goes back to what you said about poaching. So now, let's just put this scenario and stuff though. You got some top kids, right? But you're not playing on the circuit. You're playing, down to LA, some big tournaments. But then you got this shoe circuit coach that's online messaging players and stuff though. That can do way more for these kids than you can do because they have the funds behind it and stuff though. So it's like, what do? Do you be happy for the kid that he's going to get another opportunity somewhere else? Or do you, stay salty a little bit because you done had this kid for 6-7 years developing this kid because you're trying to get to this another level and stuff. But when you finally get up there, your kids are always getting poached.
Yeah.
So it's like,
you're literally developing kids to play for other programs.
Correct.
And it sucks because it's basically like a transfer portal. I'm the JUCO that's getting them ready for D1. And you could say, oh, that feels rewarding. That's great to watch and know that I was a part of this. Yes, that is an element. But let me make this clear because I say it on the show. Two fucking things can exist at the same time. I can be proud of the kid and also still a little pissed that, dude, why didn't you want to do this for the program that was rocking with you from the beginning? Both can exist.
And that's just human nature.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you put the work in with the kid. You've been there when the gym was closed.
I was the one in the shooting the machine with them. So I was the one.
I feel like that's just unnaturally to be upset.
Yeah.
But you're not upset because you don't want to see the kid be successful. You're just upset because that opportunity to present yourself to you, though, and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like and stuff, though. So.
And that's what I said. It's just gonna take some people getting their egos aside.
Yeah.
Willing to get the 10 best kids and convince them, hey, fuck the other programs. Stay here. Let's elevate here, and then whatever program that is will then hope, because again, let's just use YBA as an example. You give me the 10 best Sacramento kids with the other programs backing me up. We call it a different name, Sacramento United, right? Whatever. And now we go play the top circuit teams and we beat them. We beat them at these tournaments, these made hoops events and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The shoe circuits will notice. They will notice that.
That's the thing, though. It's just getting those kids
to stay.
That's the thing, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like Sacramento kids, though, with the right group of kids, can compete with a lot of these other programs and stuff. But it's getting those kids there first, though. And it goes back to where I don't think it will happen.
Yeah.
Because
not anytime soon.
There's money involved. There's egos involved. It has to be the right ecosystem, and I feel like the way AAU is today, maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, I can see that. But now, with how social media is and stuff, though.
Why? My last question before we get out of here for you. Why do you think kids don't want accountability anymore? Kids or parents? Like, I could say something as simple as, I want a jump stop left hand layup, and you need to work on your left hand. And of course, the delivery is not going to be nice and low and like what I'm talking right now. No, I'm going to be like, come on, man. I need that jump stop left hand layup. You're better than that. I need you to focus. Or I've even said to a kid, I say, you're not the best player on the team. You're not the best player on the team, so you got to be willing to pass the ball. If you want to be the best player in the team, you got to handle the responsibility of that, which means you got to work on your shot. You got to work on your left hand. You got to put in the work. But because you're giving them these tangible, accountable things, and it hurts somebody's feelings, a kid's feelings, a parent's feelings, or whatever, because they don't want to hear this, they leave your program, right? They leave, they go somewhere else, whatever, because they have so many options, and it's so much easier. Like, when the fuck, like, why is it like this? You know what I mean? Why, or what do you think?
That's a good question. I mean, we know you're a coach that very, very vocal.
Yeah, I'm a tough coach. Yeah,
you know what I mean. Stuff, though. And I had a college coach like that. You know what I mean. He was really hard on us and stuff because he wanted us to be the best players that we could possibly be. And at the time, I didn't understand that. You know, because I'm always like, why the hell is this dude always yelling?
Why is he riding you and shit, right?
Yeah, because every day at practice, he would always get on me about little things. You know what I mean? And sometimes you can see it on my face. I get frustrated. But I never understood why until he pulled me aside one day, and he was just explaining, it's like, you have so much talent, but when I get on you, I lose you. So he was just telling me and stuff, though. He's like, the day I stop yelling at you, that's when we're going to have a problem. You know, because he was basically explaining to me, like, you have so much potential to be this great player. I'm just trying to get it out of you. You know what I mean? I didn't understand that at first, though, and stuff. Because, like I said, I was like, why? Like, I almost quit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean and stuff, though. But until I finally realized that and stuff, though, that's when I started working a lot harder and stuff because my coach see the potential in me. And I think it probably goes for you and stuff, though. You see the potential in a lot of these kids. You just want them to work harder. And it might come across the wrong way, you know, with the yelling and stuff, though. But see, with me, I can take it, though. But I feel like, I don't know if it's just this generation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to adapt a little more and stuff, though. Because, like you said, the kids are a little more sensitive and stuff, though.
Right.
So I think that's what it is. You might have to just adapt a little more to these kids. And I don't mean break your back.
Right.
You know
No. Don't change who I am. Right.
You are and stuff like that.
And I do make adjustments for
I always tell
kids, you know what I mean?
Parents and stuff, you got to meet me halfway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, if you want to, you got to sacrifice, I got to sacrifice too. You know what I mean? So I feel like you just have to, because every kid is coached differently. You know what I mean? I have some kids where, like my son, like I could probably yell at him a little more. Right. And then I got other kids I know, like, if I yell at this kid, I'm probably going to lose him for the whole damn game. So
right.
If I get on him the way, you know, I can get on this one. So you have to find different ways. I feel like a good coach finds different ways to get the best out of their kids and stuff, though. You know, like I said, I can yell at this one, but this one I gotta coach him differently. This one might be a little different. So every kid, like, I don't want to hear a coach say, "Oh, I coach all my kids the same." Right. Because a good coach is going to adapt to their kids and stuff, though. It's not going to be like, because I had a college coach too at Chico State. Yeah. You know, he's a great guy and stuff, though, but he had one coaching style. You know what I mean? And he didn't adapt. It was basically like, it's his way or the highway. And stuff, though, and stuff. And I feel like with today's generation, that don't really work anymore and stuff, though. You know,
you do have to modify it, and I have.
Yeah. I mean, you still have those coaches that do that, though. But I feel like you're not going to be successful long term doing that and stuff, though. You know, because some parents don't want their kids getting yelled at like that. Right. You know what I mean? It's just, it is what it is and stuff.
But like, what's crazy though, the reality is though, if they want that kid to play college, they're going. I don't know one college coach that don't get on their kids in some way, shape, or form.
It goes back to what you said, though, too. Like, I mean, this program might not be for you either. Yeah. And that's okay. Yeah. You know, it's okay, like, you know, but don't feel a certain type of way because I see something different in your kid than you see and stuff, though. I'm not doing this just to do it just because. You know what I mean? I think a lot of parents see that sometimes and like, oh, why is he yelling at my kid and blah, blah, blah. Ma'am, I'm yelling at your kid because I see potential in your kid to maybe he can get to JUCO, D1, whatever it is and stuff, though. So do I keep yelling at this kid or do I adapt or what do I do and stuff, though, you know? Yeah. And like I said, good coaches going to figure it out.
No doubt.
Yeah, so that's how I look at that situation.
Well, thanks for showing up. I know it's late at night. We both old and tired and shit, but no, thanks for coming through.
It's a pleasure, brother. Appreciate it.
Do you have any quick shout outs or any messages you want to get out there real quick?
Just shout out to the AE community and stuff, though. You know, just keep supporting me and stuff, though, and I'll keep supporting you guys, trying to bring high level, good competition tournaments out here and stuff, though, in the Sacramento area.
Okay. Yeah. No. I will have links to his Instagram in the description. If you are an AAU team or program, whether you're in California, out of California, please come check him out. As you heard from him, he is actively trying to put a good product out there for you guys.
Yes,
so,
yes.
you know, he and O is one of the most chillest dudes.
I'm a laid back person. like my thing, what I tell coaches, that if there is an issue at a tournament, please come talk to me so we can handle this and move on from it and stuff, though. You know,
Exactly.
the coaches I have an issue with, though, if there's a problem in a tournament and then they don't explain it to me so I can get better myself.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I said, if you have a problem, coaches,
It's a two-way street, man. We all trying to get better. We all trying to
all of
improve.
us are.
And I got to take criticism for things that happen in YBA and this organization of mine, and he's going to take criticism in his organization, right?
We all trying to get better. That's all it is.
Exactly. So, you know, if you made it to the end of the episode, you're a real one. Appreciate you. Again, maybe hit that like, hit that follow, do the HBO special, help a brother out. As always, the basketball community, I hope you are grinding, you are improving, you're practicing, you're persevering, and be ready for your performance, for your moment. I'm going to hopefully, again, keep pumping out good guests for you guys, do Coaches Rise Times, little things in between, so stay tuned for all that. Other than that, be safe, have good basketball experiences, and keep learning and keep being great. We are out.